The theater was buzzing with the usual mix of excitement and skepticism as the next contestant walked onto the America's Got Talent stage. He didn't look like a star. He didn't carry himself with confidence or swagger. Instead, there was a quiet nervousness in his steps, a slight tremble in his hands as he waved to the judges and the audience. A Filipino man, modestly dressed, standing under blinding lights that have crushed many dreams before his even began. Simon Cowell leaned back in his chair, arms crossed, expression unreadable but familiar, the look of someone who has seen everything and expects very little. The crowd clapped politely, not wildly. This wasn't the kind of entrance that screams, legend. It was the kind that people forget. When asked about his background, the singer spoke softly about growing up poor, about music being his escape, about Elvis Presley being his hero since childhood. Some smiles appeared in the audience, but there was also doubt. Another Elvis fan. Another impersonator. AGT had seen plenty. The room felt heavy with uncertainty, as if everyone was silently preparing themselves for disappointment. Simon raised an eyebrow when the contestant mentioned Elvis. You could almost hear the collective thought of the judges, here we go again. Elvis as sacred ground, imitated endlessly, rarely honored properly. The singer took a deep breath as the band prepared. His eyes closed for a moment, not for drama, but as if he were grounding himself, remembering why he was there. The lights dimmed. The first notes began softly. And then, he sang. Not loudly, not with force, but with control, tone, and a haunting familiarity that instantly changed the energy in the room. The voice didn't just sound like Elvis, it felt like him. Heads snapped up. The audience leaned forward. Simon's posture changed almost immediately. His arms slowly uncrossed, his expression shifting from boredom to confusion. This wasn't karaoke. This wasn't mimicry. This was something deeper, something respectful, something authentic. Every syllable carried weight, every note landed exactly where it needed to. The Filipino singer wasn't pretending to be Elvis, he was channeling the soul of the music itself. As the performance continued, the atmosphere transformed completely. The audience, once restless, was now silent, so silent you could hear breaths being held. The singer moved effortlessly through the song, not relying on exaggerated gestures or flashy tricks. His power came from restraint, from emotion simmering just beneath the surface. When he reached the chorus, his voice opened up, rich and resonant, filling the theater with a sound that felt both nostalgic and new. Heidi Klum's eyes widened. Sofia Vergara whispered, "Wow," under her breath. Even Howie Mandel, known for his unpredictability, sat frozen. But it was Simon who stole the moment, not with words, but with his face. His eyes locked onto the stage, unblinking, jaw slightly clenched. This was not the Simon Cowell who rolls his eyes or stops performances midway. This was a man witnessing something unexpected, something rare. The crowd began to react, soft murmurs, then applause building organically, as if people were afraid to interrupt the magic. Then came the turning point, the high note. The kind of note that separates good singers from unforgettable ones. The Filipino singer didn't rush it. He approached it with precision, breath steady, posture calm. And when he hit it, the sound soared, clean, powerful, and emotionally charged. Gasps echoed across the theater. Some audience members stood up instinctively, hands flying to their mouths. The note wasn't just impressive, it was earned. Years of struggle, of singing in small rooms, of dreaming from far away, all of it seemed to pour out in that single moment. Simon's reaction said everything. His eyes glistened. He shook his head slowly, almost in disbelief, as if thinking, how is this real? For a judge known for crushing dreams with a sentence, this was unfamiliar territory. The song ended not with theatrics, but with quiet dignity. The final note faded, and for a split second, there was silence, the kind that only happens when people are emotionally overwhelmed. Then the explosion came. The entire theater erupted into thunderous applause. People were on their feet, cheering, screaming, clapping as if they had just witnessed history, and maybe they had. The Filipino singer stood frozen for a moment, eyes wide, clearly overwhelmed by the response. He bowed his head, fighting back tears. The judges stood as well, one by one. Simon remained seated for a brief second longer, staring at the stage, before finally standing and applauding, a rare and powerful sign of respect. When the noise finally settled, Simon spoke. His voice was quieter than usual, more deliberate. He admitted that he had expected nothing special, that he was ready to stop the performance. Then he paused, looked directly at the contestant, and said words that changed everything. "That was one of the most authentic Elvis performances I've ever heard. You didn't copy him, you honored him." The crowd roared again. For the singer, it wasn't just approval, it was validation. That night, a Filipino singer didn't just perform an Elvis song, he rewrote expectations. He reminded the world that greatness can come from anywhere, that legends can be reborn through honesty and heart, not imitation. Social media would later explode with clips of the audition, millions sharing the moment. Simon Cowell was left speechless, when disbelief turned into admiration. But for those in the room, it was more than a viral moment. It was a story of courage, of crossing oceans with nothing but a dream and a voice. As the singer walked off the stage, tears finally falling freely, it was clear that this wasn't the end, it was the beginning. A reminder that sometimes, the most unforgettable voices come from the most unexpected places. And when a Filipino starts singing Elvis, even Simon Cowell can't help but believe.